and welcome to a new video on my channel. My name is Audrey, I am a knitwear designer, and this is a video where I will share all about this year's mystery knit-along design. So if you would like a written version of everything that I am about to talk about in this video, all the information that I will be giving is present on the pattern pages on Ravelry and on Payhip, so you can find the links to the pattern on in the description below the video. So if you would like to see something a little bit more organized and where I'm sure not to have forgotten anything, all the information will be there. I also will put in the description a timestamps for all the different sections of the video, so if you're looking for any information in particular, feel free to look at this. I am going to go over everything about the mystery knit-along. So what's a mystery knit-along? For those who don't know, the type of project that this is. First I will go over the schedule and then give some tips on yarn and color choice. So if you are not aware of what a mystery knit-along is, it's like a little community event for knitters where everyone is knitting either the same design or a design revolving around a certain theme. And in the case of a mystery knit-along, it is organized by a designer and everyone is knitting a pattern that they have not seen, so it's a secret. It's like a little game playing with the surprise elements where little by little the design is slowly revealed. So when you look at the pattern page right now, whether it's on Ravelry or on Payhip, which is where you can buy the pattern, which is already available for sale now, there is no picture of the finished design, so you don't know what it's going to look like. I am going to try and give you as much information as possible just so that you are aware a little bit of the style, whether or not this is something that you're going to enjoy, but it is something that revolves around the surprise element. So if that's not for you, don't worry, the pattern will come out as a normal, fully revealed design at the end of the MCAP. So how do you purchase the pattern? Right now it is available, like I said, on Ravelry and on Payhip. Keep in mind two little things when you're purchasing the pattern. If you are purchasing the pattern through Ravelry, make sure that you are logged in to your Ravelry account. This is for any Ravelry pattern purchase. It just makes sure that the pattern is automatically stored in your Ravelry library so that you can get any updates. And in the case of the mystery knit-along, the actual design reveals updates. And if you're purchasing the pattern via Payhip, when you're adding the pattern to your cart, there should be a little window pop up which has a line that says you are agreed to receive email updates, and you should tick that box. It is not a newsletter, it's just to receive updates on the particular design that you are purchasing. So for example, if there's a mistake that needs to be fixed in the pattern PDFs, or in that case with the mystery knit-along, to receive the new parts of the design instructions. So no worries. If when the first clue comes out you notice that you're not receiving it, you'll just send me a message on Ravelry, on Instagram, or through the email which you will have received when you purchase the pattern, and I will fix that very quickly for you. So for the entire duration of the mystery knit-along, the pattern is at sale. It's on a reduced price compared to what it normally will be. There's no code, it's an automatic sale. So this is the price as you see it. And as far as the date, so as you are seeing this, the pattern is up for sale, and there will be 3 weeks for planning and deciding if you want to join or not. The first clue will be sent on September 6th, and then every Friday there are 6 clues total, so it will be on September 6th, 13th, 20th, 27th, and then on October 4th and 11th. And the pattern will be fully revealed and be released as a normal design on October 18th. This is not a race, so you are absolutely free to join the mystery knit-along whenever you want. I also really encourage you to wait if you are not sure that the surprise thing is for you, and if you have any doubt whether the design will suit your tastes or not. Just wait until a few of the clues are revealed. I will share them on my social media, and if you want me to send you a picture of the clue on the day that it's released, for example, when I will send clue 1, you can send me a message and I will just send you a picture of that clue so that you can get a sense of what that looks like. So you are very welcome to wait a little bit just to make sure. I always like to insist on this because I want everyone to enjoy what they're knitting. So don't feel like you have to rush in. Like I said, if you want to take advantage of the reduced Mystery Knit Along price, the full design will actually be revealed with the last clue, and then you will have still an entire week to purchase the design at the promotion, with the promotional price. So that is everything in terms of technical administrative bits. To participate in the Mystery Knit Along though, you have two things. You can use the hashtag, which is going to be Ithaca KAL on Instagram, to share your yarn and your advance. And if you want, there is a Ravelry thread as well where you can participate if you would like to share your progress. Just note that in this Ravelry thread, people will share pictures of their knitting, and some people are very fast. So if you don't want to be spoiled and you haven't had a chance to look at the clue yet, I would advise not going to the Ravelry thread before you're ready to see the actual design. So that is it. This is the 5th year I have a Mystery Knit Along, so I encourage you to have a look at the previous year's Mystery Knit Along, because this will be the exact same project. I will put the link in the description to the Ravelry bundle where you can see all the previous designs so you know what you are getting. And what you are getting is this. Not this specifically, but the same type of design. So it is a colourwork cowl. So the mystery element is the colourwork design, but the project will always be this. So it's a long tube cowl which you can wrap twice around your neck. It is worked in a round. You start with a provisional cast on. You can use any provisional cast on you like. Again, I would like to insist on this. I have found no consensus on what provisional cast on knitters tend to prefer. I suggest the crochet method because it's the one that I find most comfortable, but it has no impact whatsoever on the project if you use the one that you actually prefer. I have made several of these designs, whether it's in Mystery Knit Alongs or not, and every time I choose a provisional cast on method, I have people tell me that they hate it and that they prefer this other method. Whenever I suggest this other method, people say that they hate it and that they prefer another one. And I have gone through the crochet method, the scrap yarn method, the Turkish cast on, and every time it just goes in a loop. And so there is no specific requirement for a specific provisional cast on. Just use whichever one you like. You then knit the project in the round. So it's a tube like this. You will have one chart which you repeat twice. So once here and then once here. And then you go all along the cowl, and then at the end you close the tube together with a grafting. You graft the cowl together close. If you hate grafting, you can use a 3-needle bind off, but since you will have to do it from the right side, because it's a tube, so if you do it from the wrong side, you will be stuck on the wrong side. It will leave a little seam. It will not be too big of a deal for this year's design. So if you want to use the 3-needle bind off method to close your cowl together, you basically attach the tube all together. It's fine. It will work out. So yeah, that is it for the type of project. Here's another one of them. And as far as theme and style, so this year's Mystery Knit Along is called Ithaca, and it is about the Odyssey. so by Omer. Well, by no one really, but the Odyssey from Omer, the Homeric tale. It is a cowl that is inspired by amphoras and kind of the paintings related to that. Each clue will represent different scenes from the Odyssey, different characters that are encountered in the story. So that is the theme. And in terms of the colorwork style per se, it is mostly figurative designs. So the cowl will be divided into squares like this one. So each clue will be one square. It's more like a rectangle really, but each clue will be one rectangle with a frame like a border, which will consist of a small geometric pattern, and then inside each of those rectangles will be mostly figurative symbols depicting objects, animals, flowers and plants, etc. So there's a little bit of geometric patterns, but it's mostly going to be something closer to these designs, you see. It is a relatively busy and intricate design, so think something like this, right? But with the type of pattern that actually represents something figuratively, all right? And yeah, so that is the general aspect. In terms of the actual specification of the cowl, so it's exactly like the previous year's Mystery Knit Along, so it's the same size, same gauge, same type of yarn. The cowl is 128 centimeter long. I don't know what that is in inches at the top of my head, but it will be written everywhere. And basically this is the circumference, right? And it's about 23-25 centimeters wide. Now, if you know that you need a longer cowl, maybe you've knitted the cowls from the previous years, or if you already know that your row gauge is denser than mine, there will be additional pattern bands, which make you, which means that you will be able to make a longer cowl. So basically, between each rectangle, you can incorporate smaller bands of patterns. So from the start, with the first clue, I am going to send you a bunch of different patterns that you can add like this between the clue. Each of the rectangle has to measure about 21 centimeter tall. This is 8 inches and a quarter, I think. Don't quote me on that. So if you notice, which is 1/6 of the cowl, right? If you notice that it's shorter, you can already go ahead from the very first clue and add in between the clues those extra pattern bands, which will be in the first clue, and in every clue I will keep sending them to you, so that you can plan ahead if you want to have a longer cowl. The gauge is 28 stitches per 30 rounds. So the yarn is fingering weight. Any fingering weight should work at that gauge for color work. It allows you to use even sleeker type of yarns like superwash yarns. They will be okay in color work. If you are a beginner colorwork knitter, I recommend that you choose something that is wool based, and preferably non-superwash and woolen span. This will make your life easier knitting colorwork, managing your tension. But like I said, with that gauge, anything goes. I use Knitting for Olive merino, so this is a pure merino fine fingering weight. The range of fingering weight, it goes from 360 meters to 500 meters per 100 gram. Anything within that range will work fine. This is the finer, on the finer end of that range, which allows me to have something that is quite light, even though it's double layer. And I live in the south of France, where I am currently melting, so I like thinner yarns for this, but any type of fingering weight will work. If you're using an even thicker yarn, you will just have a bigger cowl, and that's fine as well. You will need at least 2 colors. So because each of the rectangles is distinct from each other, like they will be fully separated and bordered and etc. You can change colors at every clue if you want. If you change both colors, you will have more of a color block effect, or you can just change your contrast color or just your main color and keep one color throughout the cowl if you like. I only used two, and to keep the amphora style, I use these two colors. So this is my main color, this is copper, and this is my contrast color, which is licorice. You will need about 525 meters. I'm sorry about the buzzing, I have no clue what that is. I think it's a military training thing. You will need about 525 meters of the main color, and you will need about 565 meters of the contrast color, which will actually make the patterning. So this is 575 yards main color and 620 yards contrast color. Now that is for just the base cowl, so not with the extra pattern bands. So if you're thinking that there is a bit of buffer, but if you think that you are gonna want a longer cowl, or if you know your colourwork gauge, mine is quite square, as you can see, it's 28 stitches per 30 rounds. If you know that your colourwork gauge is denser in rows already, and that you're going to want to incorporate extra patterns, plan more yarn. Yeah, so in terms of colors, I would recommend going for semi-solids or plain colors, and I would advise more contrast than usual, perhaps, just because sometimes the actual drawing, like if it represents an insect or a plant, sometimes it's going to rely on like one tiny dot to actually make the shape. So more contrast is better for this design. If you want to use a variegated or speckled yarn, just make sure that none of it looks like your other color. So you can use a variegated color and one plain color, as long as they're really contrasted. So if you have speckles or variations, just make sure that none of those nuances are too close to the other color that you're gonna be using to save that contrast. And I think that's it. Difficulty wise, I would say that it's about in the middle of my previous color, of all my previous colorwork cowl mystery designs. So it is not as easy as this one, just because the patterns are not that geometric, right? So there's not gonna be a lot of repetitive patterns that you can memorize easily. You're going to have to pay attention to the chart. There are, however, not a lot of floats to catch. There are floats to catch, but it's very rare that it's on a big spot with a lot of consecutive rows. There is only one clue where that happens. So you have a bit of floats to catch, but not too much. And yeah, basically we are still knitting in the round with two colors. So this is very beginner friendly if you've never knitted colorwork before. As long as you can have the time to dedicate attention to the chart, that is mostly going to be it. You're gonna have to pay attention to the chart. Because it's figurative designs, you're not gonna be able to memorize what's happening because it's kind of different at every round. But if you've knitted colorwork before, no problem at all. And if it's your first one, just think about the attention span. And that is all. I think I've gone over everything. Please let me know if you have any questions about the design, about just how to participate in the mystery knit along. So a little bit of a recap. You're seeing this video, if you're seeing it when I'm publishing it, there are 3 weeks delay before the first clue comes out. And yeah, if you have any doubts about your color choice, your yarn choice, feel free to send it to me and I can sort of give you tips and let you know what I think, because I know what the design looks like. So yeah, feel free to send me pictures if you would like me to let you know if it's going to work, or if you're better off looking at something different. I hope you'll enjoy the theme. I hope that you will join us if you like mystery knit-alongs and colourwork. I have to say, I am really proud of this design. Usually, and I've mentioned this quite a lot, for those mystery designs, I have a lot of fun creating the patterns, but then when I'm actually knitting the colourwork designs, I'm a little bit unsure. I'm always thinking that it looks messy, it doesn't look cohesive, I don't know what I'm doing, and it's only when I have the complete design that I can see the harmony in it and that I'm happy with it. For this one though, I never doubted. Of course I doubted a little bit, can't help it, but I am very, very happy with this. I love the theme, I really like the amphora style, I really like the colors I picked, and I think it's really fun, and I hope you will find it fun as well. If you like figurative designs, I think you're gonna find something that you enjoy. And again, if you're uncertain about whether or not what I described fits you, just wait until a few of the clues are revealed, and you can get a sense of what the pattern looks like. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to those who will join me for the mystery knit-along. Feel free to send me any questions, like I said. I wish you a very happy rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.